Let's talk sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a great alternative to a regular potato. They're really good for you. They're full of vitamin C and calcium and magnesium, and they're easy to replace. So any recipe that you have that calls for a potato, you can actually substitute a sweet potato instead. In fact, the hash we made 2 months ago, if you go check out our April video, you could put a sweet potato in the place of that potato and it would be just as delicious. You can also use it mashed on top of something like shepherd's pie, just all kinds of things you could do. And actually, you could puree this and use it in any of our squash or pumpkin recipes as well. So very versatile vegetable. If you want to just bake it as it is, that's also really delicious. You can just prick it all over with a fork, put it in the oven at 425 for 40 minutes to an hour, depending on the size of your sweet potato, and it's going to be delicious. Warning, put something underneath it because it's going to ooze out all this wonderful sugary goodness as it cooks. But we're going to turn this sweet potato into something a little different. We're going to make sweet potato tacos today. So you're going to start by peeling your sweet potato and cutting it up into pieces. I have mine right here, all chopped up. And you're just going to drizzle a little oil all over it. And then a little salt. A little pepper. And I am going to add spices to the rest of our recipe, but because I like a little spice, I'm going to just do a little bit of chili powder on these as well. And a little bit of smoked paprika. If you don't have those things, or if you don't like those things, feel free to leave them out. And I'm going to bake those at 400 for 15 minutes. Take it out of the oven, stir it all around, put it back in for another 15 minutes, and at that time they should be nice and soft and ready for the next step. So I'm going to put those in the oven. Now, while those are cooking, we are going to cook up the protein that's going to go with them. So you have lots of choices for this one. This would be really good with black beans. If you want to do a meatless meal, 1 can of black beans rinsed well would work really well. You can also use any ground meat. So I'm using ground sausage today, but you could use ground beef, you could use ground turkey, you could use ground chicken, whatever you like, whatever you happen to have in the fridge or freezer, that will work for this meal. So you're going to start with our lovely onions. So you can chop those up. Ours are chopped fairly fine, but again, you can do whatever works for you. And you're going to cook those in a frying pan until they start to be translucent. So just put a little oil in the pan. I'm going to put these on and get those going. Once those are good and warm and starting to look translucent, you're going to put your ground meat in there, and you're going to put in some taco seasoning. So if you have a mixed taco seasoning, you can use that. I've made my own. This is a teaspoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, garlic powder, oregano, and mixed all together, and that's going to go in. If you like things a little more spicy, you can just add a little more chili powder. It's totally up to you. This is your meal. So you're going to mix that all together till the meat is cooked through, and then you're ready for the next step. So we'll wait till those things are cooked, and I'll see you back here. All right, I have my meat and my onion all cooked up, and it's nice and hot. And my sweet potato is nice and roasted, so I'm going to mix those two things together. While this was cooking, I got some of the toppings ready. So we have the tomato and the cucumber from our bin, and then I also added some celery and some sprouts. We have some salsa and some olives. Guacamole would be really good with this, cheese of any kind. So you've got lots of options, just the usual things you like on tacos. And then as for a meal, there's a couple ways you can eat this. So we used to like to have a bed of rice And then we put this over top and then all the toppings over top of the rice, so that's really good. You could also, of course, do the traditional route and go with taco shells or tortillas. You could do nacho chips and do sort of nachos with all those fresh veggies on top. Today I'm going to do a lettuce leaf. So we're going to take our mixture here. We're going to put it in our lettuce leaf. It's never perfect, but it looks pretty. And then we're going to top with our toppings. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see better. We'll do a little salsa. And then some of those lovely cucumbers from our basket. And some tomatoes. A little celery. Little sprouts. And some olives. And there we go, sweet potato tacos. So I hope you enjoy the bin produce. I hope you try some new recipes, and I'd love to know what you're making. Please share them in the comments below. Thanks, and have a great day.